Well, g'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am making my way back across to the west coast of Ireland. Told you it would seem like we'd never left, but it's actually been several weeks since we came back. Nicola has actually popped back over to Cambridge to spend a little bit of time with friends and family, and I was planning on going over to Scotland. I normally head over to Scotland around this time of year to sort of chase a little bit of autumn colour, but you've probably heard me say this a couple of times in various vlogs over the last couple of weeks. I just fell in love with the west coast of Ireland, so I thought, heck, why not? Why not come back over again and do a little bit of a photography trip? This isn't going to turn into a photography channel, don't worry about that. Might be a little bit of photography thrown in there, and I might throw up the odd short over the next couple of weeks. Probably going to be bimbling up. I'm going to sort of make my way in towards Galway and then slowly make my way north along the Wild Atlantic Way again, obviously into Connemara and places like this, but just me, the van, a camera, and hopefully plenty of cake. Now, what about this for a first stop? And quite often when we're parking somewhere kind of wild, I don't often say where it is. There's plenty of apps out there that you can sort of do that. I will, however, put a little, 3 words link to this particular place here. Now, we're still in Northern Ireland, but this is a little Ayr. You can see where I'm parked here, right by the loch. And then up here, there's loos. There's even a shower. There looks to be black waste. I think there's maybe grey waste, and I think I read somewhere there was water as well. But look at the light out here. Oh, in fact, it might even be time to get the old pixel box out and have a little bit of evening photography. Anyway, guys, just literally over the next couple of weeks, just going to be bimbling back up the west coast, and obviously bringing you guys along for the ride. Not sure how many vlogs we'll make, but we'll just take it nice and easy and see where we end up. But this isn't a bad place to start off with, is it? Right, get the old pixel box out. Well, good morning, folks. And what an absolutely beautiful morning. I had an inkling that it was going to be like this here. Now, I'm not sure whether I can just sense actually that sun maybe starting to break through a little bit, which I'm sure is going to burn this mist off. I'm not sure whether I caught the footage, but actually just as I was standing on the edge of the pontoon, kingfisher came down and was sort of flying around. I might add the wide angle on, so probably not, but still just beautiful to see. So yeah, this sun behind me here is going to kind of rise up. It look a little bit cloudy, but I'm sure we're going to start seeing some of this mist burn off. So I'm just going to take in the moment. I promised it wasn't going to be a photography vlog, so don't worry. Nice quiet night. The about 8:30 last night, no, earlier, about 7:30, a couple came down and parked their car and literally had a discotheque going on, but they just came down and sat on the pontoon, which I find bizarre. You know, you come down in beautiful surroundings, but you have kind of like, this is just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Right, well, I am going to sit and enjoy, or stand and enjoy the morning, and then we'll mosey on. Beautiful. Well, good evening. Another rather nice park up, and in fact I have now made it all the way across onto the Wild Atlantic Way, and Nicola and I actually stopped here about a month ago and parked in exactly that place. I don't think we recorded anything from here before. We took a little walk up the way, but it is a beautiful evening. Nothing doing from a photography perspective, but that's okay. This puts me in kind of earshot of Galway, and then that's where the fun really is going to begin. I was always going to give myself these first couple of days just to ease myself back into it all again. So yeah, nothing much more to say. I'm going to jump back in the van and we'll actually listen to the football tonight. And you're probably getting beat again, so you never know. We might be able to come back out again here tomorrow morning with the old pixel box. I don't think somehow we're going to get the same conditions as we got this morning with that gorgeous mist. That was a cracking little park up. Yeah, really clean chemical disposal. The toilets Did close overnight, but of course you've got the chemical disposal there. There was a tap on the pier, I didn't check it, but I'm pretty sure there's probably water there too. Thumbs up to the local council for putting that on. Certainly one to go back to. So anyway, I'm going to jump back in the van and we'll catch up in the morning. Slow and steady living, that's what it's all about. Did a 10-mile run after I left that park up yesterday morning, came into Oranmore, did a nice 10-mile run, and then just hung out. You know, you watch a lot of videos on YouTube of people in their van and they're doing all this crazy stuff, but actually one of the things I love about being in the van is just slow and steady living. It's Saturday today, so last night I wanted to park somewhere that got me access to a park run. And I am parked up about 3 miles from one, but I went over yesterday to check out the parking situation, and there's a height barrier. Now I emailed the park run director and he said it's open this morning apparently, so I'm going to go along and check out. You can probably tell behind me though, the only problem with parking here last night was a bit nondescript location. It wasn't too noisy actually. What was noisy was the rain, as you've already seen, but looks to have cleared through a little bit now. So I'm going to make my way along to the park run. Hopefully the height barrier is open. I have a backup plan to go and park in a hotel otherwise, but let's go do park run. Ooh. Well, good morning. Not a bad sunrise this morning. So we didn't record too much yesterday after talking about going to park run, and thought to myself, I won't bother taking the camera out on park run because it's just park run. Oh, what a mistake that is. Always bring your camera. Goodness gracious me, the thunder, the hailstones, I've never seen hailstones like it in my life. So painful. Brought myself back down to the little place I stayed the night before, just along that main road, because it looked like the weather yesterday was going to be atrocious, and sure enough it was. And it was a case of, that sunrise is incredible. Hang on a minute, let's see whether we can get up and take another quick look at it. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, park run yesterday was just a complete craziness. So came back over to this beach and it was just a case of in and out, in and out, in and out. But again, that's one of the things I love about traveling in the van. In fact, I've just written an article on a photographer traveling in the van. But yeah, in and out, in and out. Some cracking conditions, some really windy conditions. Now, we're in the kind of the middle of what seemingly is two weather systems, and we have about 5 or 6 hours today where things are going to be calm and like this, maybe getting a bit more overcast. But then by about 4 o'clock this afternoon, the second leg of the storm breaks through and it looks like it's going to be even windier. Now, I would like to push on a little bit further west, but I'm just concerned that I'm heading further into that further west here really does jut out into the sea. So what I might do is I might head up sort of inland a little bit more and just see what's going on up in there. But not a bad start to the morning. I even come out without my morning cup of coffee. Got joined last night by a couple of other vans. Not sure whether you can make that out over there, but yeah. That sunrise looks like it's subsiding just a touch. I didn't think it was going to be sort of too long in the tooth, so glad I got out for a little bit. And maybe it is going to be soon time for that first cup of coffee. Ho ho. A little bit more of that slow and steady living, I think, today. So given the fact that the weather is supposed to deteriorate quite considerably in about 4 hours time, I thought I'd come down and check out where I'm probably going to park up tonight. Don't think it's going to give me a huge amount of protection from the wind, but we are in we're off the coast. We are surrounded by water, but we're off the coast a little bit, in a little sort of inlet here in Connemara. And in fact, for the first time, you're not going to be able to make that out, but for the first time, I can actually see the Connemara hills, which excites me for the next couple of days as well. But I'm not going to stay here right now. I'm going to grab a coffee, and then I'm going to head into the little village and probably do a couple of hours work. And then plan to come back down here. I wanted to check to make sure that there was 4G reception so I could listen to the football. Nothing too dramatic going on. If you came here looking for epic, you might want to skip on to the next channel. So a bit of a change of plan. So I came into the little village to do a bit of work. I've been in there for the last couple of hours. Checked the weather again, and it certainly looks like we're going to get some serious wind and rain. And I was thinking, where I was parked, I wonder, it's kind of low lying, and even though it's not tidal, I just wonder, would it get a little bit flooded? And then I happened to notice that there's a place right beside where I was doing a little bit of work that actually does camper van overnight stops if you go in and eat. And went in, and sure enough, he's open. Does really good fish and chips, and it looks like he's actually got the Man U game on TV as well as the Man City Liverpool one. So I've decided to just stay in here. Change of plans. Right, I've got another little bit of work to do in the van, and then we'll go watch Man U hammer Newcastle. Well, good morning again. It was a fantastic little stop last night. Although not fantastic football. Man United were hopeless as usual. Great little stopover actually. I'll put the details down below again. If you're in this area, good little place to use as a base. Really good fish and chips as well. And about 4 miles outside of that, I'm actually walking on quite a famous bridge for you film aficionados. The Quiet Man, John Wayne. He's a good man himself, Mr. Wayne. So this area, this countryside, and in fact this bridge, made famous by that movie and gave Irish tourism a huge boost. The Quiet Man. And this is the bridge. Might need to bring the old pixel box down here. Oh, mountains in the background and the Quiet Man bridge right here. But yeah, so the plan for this week, last couple of days, I've really just been sort of slowing my horses as I was sort of wanting to do that park run. And now this week, it really is just a case of exploring the Connemara area, not really moving on too quickly too many times. There's a mountain route, there's a lakes route, and there's the coastal route. Now obviously I did the coastal route before, and I will do that again because there's some beaches I want to go back to. But I'm sort of looking forward to exploring the mountain and the, maybe not today with the wind, the mountain route, but the lake route. So, right, Quiet Man Bridge, there you go. Lots of weathery squalls coming through as well. I'll go and grab the old pixel box and make an image or two. Well guys, that's been both a frustrating and stunning morning so far. Some of the conditions, was planning on heading out on the coastal route, and I know I said earlier I wasn't going to head up into the mountain route, but I just kind of followed the light, and the light got pretty spectacular. But on the drive over, there just was nowhere to pull in, which was like really frustrating. But come down to another lovely little area here, and probably would be a nice place to park up, just a little disused pier. But I'm going to carry on. It's a bit too early to settle down just yet. But I was actually saying to Nicola, when we came through Connemara before, we stuck to the coast, and it was stunning. It is stunning, but we missed a trick not coming up into the sort of the hills and the lakes as well. So I'm going to keep heading a little bit east, and see what else there is on offer. But what I'm probably going to do now is stop this vlog right here, and we'll pick it up next week as I continue exploring a little bit of Connemara. But yeah, just beautiful. Autumn colours haven't quite taken so much yet, but that's okay. It's just nice to bimble across. Just finishing up a coffee. I'll get on my way, but you guys will have to wait till next week to see what else I get up to. Right. Well, once again, thanks a lot for following along, and until, oh, hang on a minute. Don't have Nicola to do a little wave. Guess I'm going to have to do it then. Until next time. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.